Well, Brett Veach does not sleep because a trade for DeAndre Hopkins is happening. It's getting finalized still, but the news dropped at like 6 a.m. It's 7:40 a.m. here. I woke up at 7:15, saw the news, had to come down here, prep the stream thumbnail, blah, blah, blah. But let's get straight into it, man. The Chiefs are making a move for a wide receiver. This is the third year they've done this in a row, by the way. Kadarius Toney in 2022. They then traded for McCole Hardman last year from the Jets before the trade deadline when they needed some wide receiver help. And they're doing it again, but this time with a needle mover. This is an instant needle mover in DeAndre Hopkins. Okay, he's 32 years old. He dealt with a little bit of an MCL issue earlier on in the year. I think it was during preseason. Jesse Morris talked about it a little bit. Hopkins confirmed that he's dealing with a partial tear of his left MCL. He suffered a full thickness grade 3 tear a couple years ago on his right knee that required surgery, but he's been back and he's been playing. So I'm not super concerned about that. Now, I did talk about in a recent live stream that DeAndre Hopkins didn't finish playing the game last week. I don't even know if he played in the game last week. I'll have to look up his game log. But he said, reportedly, he was dealing with soreness in his calf and Achilles area. And that freaked me out. So I said, well, it's either two things. It's either one, that's not actually happening, or two, it is happening and you don't want to trade for the guy. Well, if Brett Veach and company is going to trade for DeAndre Hopkins, I would assume he's fine. He's obviously got to pass a physical. There's some stuff that have to happen on their end for this to get finalized. This supposedly happened last night, conversations late into the evening, and I guess I could tell you trade compensation. It's in exchange for a 5th rounder that can become a 4th. So DeAndre Hopkins for a 5th? Sign me up. Something else that is being worked on right now is DeAndre Hopkins and his salary. The Titans are willing to take on some of DeAndre Hopkins' salary, so it's not going to be as high of a hit for the Kansas City Chiefs. So some good news there. This was help that was needed, guys. I mean, we've been talking about it. Hey, who are the Chiefs going to go and get? And me, along with everybody else, I'm just a fan like you guys, but we've been saying, hey, it would be extremely surprising if Brett Veach does not trade for a wide receiver. And this is what he does. It's not finalized yet, but the deal is basically in place as of this morning. And I don't want to look at his stats this year because it doesn't matter, dude. He's on the Titans with Will Levis throwing the dumbest interceptions I've ever seen in my life. Mason Rudolph has been in for Levis for a couple weeks, and he has 15 catches for 173 yards and 1 touchdown this season. But just last year, he had 1,000 yards. He played all 17 games, had 1,000 yards. So I am not worried about this season and the stats here. Basically, just the same as I'm not worried about Patrick Mahomes and his stats so far this year based on how things have kind of gone down. But yeah, D-Hop to the Chiefs. Whose place is he taking? Well, the Chiefs only have 4 wide receivers on the 53-man roster right now, right? Juju Smith-Schuster, Xavier Worthy, Justin Watson, Sky Moore, and McCole Hardman. They have 5. Does Juju Smith-Schuster go to IR with the hamstring? I hope not. Hopefully he's able to return within 4 weeks. But he'll take a spot somewhere. I don't know if it's going to be one of the running backs. I don't know if it's going to be one of the tight ends. Like, they just signed Jody Forts into the 53-man roster. We'll see what moves they make today. But man, this is awesome news. FLDB with the 5. The super chat is the equivalent amount the Chiefs spent to get D-Hop. They took Snead. We took D-Hop. Let's get the 3P. Yeah, interesting. Snead is on the Titans now, and now D-Hop is a Kansas City Chiefs. Rax with the 17 months. Appreciate you. Sean Peterson texted me this morning with the 10 bomb. Said, alas, we are back to D-Hop full circle. Yeah, so Sean, thanks for the text this morning. I literally woke up this morning and Sean sent me a text and said, you might want to get up. It's D-Hop to the Chiefs. And I was like, what? At 6 a.m.? What the hell, Veach? But yeah, I mean, I'm stoked. I know I don't seem maybe as stoked as I would be if it wasn't 7:30 in the morning and I've had my coffee and my cold brew, but I am stoked. This is needed. People were like, dude, I saw some stuff going around about Brett Veach last night on Twitter. They're like, somebody, it's like, he's not doing a good job, this or that. He's not going to trade for a receiver. Dude, he's getting DeAndre freaking Hopkins. Yeah, is he a bit older? Sure, he's 32. Does he still have gas left in the tank? I mean, yeah, for sure. 6'1", 212 pounds, isn't a huge, like he's not a guy, a super speed guy that's going to create a ton of separation, but he's so savvy in his route running. It's going to be good, man. So you're going to have Worthy. You're going to have D-Hop. Like, D-Hop is going to help take pressure off of Kelsey. He's going to help open things up even for other people. And then Worthy is going to have a little bit more of a threat there with the deep ball. And now you've got Kelsey, maybe Juju if he's back with the hamstring, and D-Hop kind of eating in the middle of the field in some various ways. Like, this is going to be fan-freaking-tastic. What I want to look up real quick is DeAndre Hopkins' contract, because this is still so early in the announcement phase that I don't know the contract details. So DeAndre Hopkins, he is slated to be a free agent next year, I believe. I'm going to share my screen. So yeah, he's no, it's not slated to be a free agent next year. Yeah, he is. 2024. Okay, so he's now a Chief, obviously, but his base salary, he's got $12 million in dead cap. His cap hit is $8 million, and his base is $5 million. Now, the report is the Titans are working with the Chiefs to help pay some of the cost of his contract, so it's not as high of a cap hit for the Kansas City Chiefs. I would assume they're paying less than this for DeAndre Hopkins, so less than $5 million for DeAndre Hopkins, and a 5th-round pick that can become a 4th. I mean, it's kind of like the same thing with Devontae Adams when he was traded to the Jets. It was for a 3rd that could become a 2nd if he reaches certain milestones, and that's probably going to be the same there for the Chiefs. I don't know what the milestones are. Maybe it's he plays a certain amount of snaps or he racks up a certain amount of yards. It can become a 4th-round pick, and if I look up Chiefs 2025 draft picks, I'm curious which one it was, because it was for a 4th-round pick. They don't have the numbers yet, I guess. But the Chiefs in 2025, they have a 1st, they have a 2nd, 2 3rds, that one that they got from the Snead trade, a 4th, a 5th, and 2 7ths. So the 4th is gone right now. So the Chiefs right now in 2025, again, this doesn't matter right now. We're chasing the 3-peat, so we'll worry about the draft later. But 1st, 2nd, 2 3rds, a 5th, and 2 7ths, with Tennessee getting this 5th. They get a 5th that can become a 4th. Is that right? Am I saying that wrong? Yeah, for a 5th. Okay, so it's for a 5th that can become a 4th. So here you go. It's this pick here, which the Chiefs always are late round guys. So this is late 5th-round pick that can become a 4th. Holy smokes, ladies and gentlemen. Cole, you hit that special brew coffee for this surprise. Wonderful news. Let's get this 3-peat. Said Kansas with the 5. Ghost with the 5. Good freaking morning. It's almost 6 a.m. where I am. Good morning, Kyle. Rave with the 5. There are reports coming out on X now that Ross is being elevated also. Nice. Yeah, I have a video coming out later today, and I'll kind of touch on every other bit of news that kind of takes place after this. I will look at, since I'm live, I will look at Twitter one more time and just see if there's anything else coming out that's worthy to share. Chris Jones said, "Let's go!" And I could see him saying it, waking up out of bed. "Let's go!" So that's freaking awesome, man. I saw that earlier, which is pretty cool. But yeah, man, I mean, DeAndre Hopkins is a guy, he's had multiple 1,000-yard seasons. I wonder if Spot Track has said anything about DeAndre Hopkins. Yeah, here we go. Spot Track said this. He's the contract guy. DeAndre Hopkins has $8 million remaining on the final year of his contract. Largely expected that the Titans will be retaining a portion of his salary, who currently hold around $4 million in cap space. The Chiefs currently hold around $4 million in cap space. This is interesting, too. Diana Rossini said the Rams and the Chiefs discussed Cooper Kupp, but the Super Bowl champs needed to trade with a team that was willing to take on a large chunk of that salary and didn't want to give up high picks. Remember, Cooper Kupp, they wanted a 2nd. His salary was a bit high, for sure, and it wasn't just this year, it's the next couple of years. Now, Tennessee is a team willing to play ball. I'll also say this, guys. I got a DM over a week ago. Over a week ago, I got a DM from the guy who used to run the original Pretty Ricky account. He said, hey, heads up, the Chiefs are inquiring about DeAndre Hopkins. I was like, okay, I'll keep that in my back pocket. But like, I don't break stuff. I don't ever like to confirm that unless I know from two different people. I'm not a news breaker by any means. So I just kind of kept that in the DMs, kept it in the back of my mind. And I was like, man, D-Hop to the Chiefs would be a lot of fun. And it freaking happened, dude. Let's go. It's my birthday today, said Tristan. Thank you, Veach. Trey with the 6 months. This just made my morning. Let's go. Veach never sleeps. That's the thing. I said this last night in my live stream. He either makes a move at 2 a.m. or really like 11 p.m. when I'm about to go to sleep. Or in this case, he did it at 6 a.m. when I was asleep. But if you missed it, the summary of all this is the Chiefs are trading for DeAndre Hopkins from the Titans for a 5th-round pick that could become a 4th if he hits certain milestones. The deal is not finalized as of yet. He was dealing with a MCL sprain earlier in the season that healed up. Okay. I want to look at one more thing, DeAndre Hopkins game log. But then he was reportedly on the sideline not playing because he was dealing with soreness in his calf. But he's... So, again, when you hear that around the trade deadline, take that with like a grain of salt, okay? Because Devontae Adams had a hamstring that magically healed up when he got traded. I would assume it's going to be the same for D-Hop. I mean, poor guy. Been on the Titans trying to catch passes from Will Levis and Rudolph, the red-nosed reindeer. So now he's coming to Kansas City where he's going to instantly make an impact. Will he play this week? I don't know. I mean, he's going to be on the active roster, so he might suit up. If all this happens fast enough, it's Wednesday, passes his physical. We saw Amari Cooper. This is D-Hop's game log, just so you know. So he's been playing. He had an MCL sprain in preseason, but he hasn't missed a game. I mean, look, he's been playing 9-8, 9-15, 9-22, September 30th, October 13th, and then October 20th. It hasn't been the most productive, but back-to-back 3-game stretches that you... like 73 catches or 73 yards on 6 catches, 54 yards on 4 catches. So he's not banged up from what I understand. But the report of D-Hop dealing with soreness in his calf and Achilles did worry me a little bit, but I think it could have been more just, hey, I'm out of here, bro. I'm out of here, bro. Ken with the 10 said, so happy to see D-Hop at KC. Do you think Veach will get another receiver? Maybe Deontay Johnson. I don't know. I would be kind of surprised at this point in time if they go get another guy, because Deontay Johnson's going to cost even more money and then another draft pick. And when you're a GM over a team that's got all these big contracts, Mahomes, Joe Tooney, Chris Jones. I mean, Travis Kelce's not cheap either. You've got a bunch of big expensive pieces. Jawan Taylor's not cheap either. Highest paid center in the NFL, highest paid kicker in the NFL, one of the highest paid quarterbacks. Like, you really need your draft picks. I don't think they make a move for another receiver. Could I be wrong? Of course. A double trade would really surprise me. Because here's the thing. If this gives Juju time to rest his hamstring, you'll have Juju, D-Hop, you got McCole Hardman, you got Worthy, you got Travis Kelce. I mean, you've got Noah Gray. Like, you've got some other options there that makes me feel pretty good about this, especially if Juju Smith-Schuster's hamstring isn't serious and he's able to come back. Like, Juju, D-Hop, and Kelce, Worthy stretch in the field, sign me the heck up, man. Fresh with the 2, I think the Chiefs make another move. Oh, yeah, so I just said I don't think they do, but, I mean, they very well could. A double move for a receiver would definitely surprise me, but I'm not going to complain about it. I'm not going to complain if they want to go get somebody else. 3 years in a row now, they have gone and gotten a receiver. Darren with the 19 months, the key to this whole thing is to get him involved as soon as possible. Have to know the routes and the calls. Yeah, so Amari Cooper played for the Bills last week, and he got traded midweek. We could see DeAndre Hopkins just get in there. Mahomes in the huddle being like, yo, do this. Josh Allen in the Bills game audibled to an alternate play. And Amari Cooper had no idea what it was. He looked at Keon Coleman like, yo, can you help me? And Keon's like, just run like this. and he ran straight. Josh Allen hit him for a touchdown. So, yeah, DeAndre Hopkins could play as early as Sunday against the Raiders. We will see. The trade's not 100% finalized yet. I mean, everybody's reporting on it, but it's not official at this point in time. I think he needs to pass his physical. But there we go. DeAndre Hopkins to the Kansas City Chiefs. I'm going to jump off here. I got to get my kids off to school. I got to help get them out of here. But any other update that comes out today from this, I'm doing a long form video this evening, and we will get all the updates in there, the financial details, anything else that happens today. The Chiefs have made a lot of roster moves. Check out my live stream from yesterday if you haven't seen that. There's a bunch of roster moves they made, and they're going to be making even more. Hannah with the 2 said, "Call. Didn't I call it on Sunday after the game?" You did, Hannah. Appreciate you as always. Thank you guys, and we'll be back soon. This is a good day. It's a good day to get a nice receiver, and it was very much needed. No Rice, no Hollywood, Juju banged up. Hopefully Juju doesn't have to go to IR. Hopefully that's not the corresponding roster move of DeAndre Hopkins coming in, is Juju going to IR. Hopefully that hamstring is okay and he just misses a couple weeks. But we shall see, man. Hamstrings are a bit tricky. Anyway, appreciate you guys. Have a good day. Good freaking morning. D-Hop is a Chief for a 5th rounder that could become a 4th. And until next time, let's go. Let's freaking go.
How about those Chiefs?